Why, hello there. This is, I suppose, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition episode 15 of Going Mostly Solo with your host, who always starts his videos with a General Obi-Wan Kenobi meeting General Grievous impression. I don't think I can quite do the accent, but never mind. You join me here outside the Friendly Arm Inn, where I've done a little bit of boring inventory management and logistical spending off-screen, off-camera, so I don't have to bore you with that. As you may have noticed, that the number of health potions in my quick bar has rather increased since the end of the last video, and I use literally correctly, in that I have literally bought every single potion of healing in the entire Western Heartlands south of the Friendly Arm Inn. So all of the ones from Temple, all of the ones from Nashkel, all of the healing potions that are available from High Hedge and the Temple of Wisdom here now belong to me. So having solved the iron crisis, I now control the entire stock of healing potions, and it's a little bit like Goldfinger, Auric Goldfinger. He wants to have all of the world's gold that he hasn't made radioactive by bombing Fort Knox with an atomic bomb. So I am the healing potion finger. It's not quite as catchy, but yeah. So these 38 healing potions and my spellcasting ability will have to suffice until I reach Baldur's Gate. I don't know whether that is going to be possible or not. So I will have to try not to be too profligate with my potions of healing. So they're in Cloakwood and beyond. There may be a little bit of resting going on. So with a party, what might take one or two in game days will probably take about 3 weeks, because we know how good Harrison is in combat, which is to say he's absolutely wretchedly crap, which is one of the reasons I am not going to clear all of this dark stuff. That can wait for another character, frankly. I mean, there's a group of hobgoblins up here who have Joya's flame dance ring. I mentioned Joya, she lives in this house here. And you can get 1 reputation, 300 XP for, killing the hobgoblins and returning her ring. 300 XP, it's not really worth the time it's going to take. So, I could have done it off camera, I suppose, but I'm not going to gain any reputation because that's already maxed out, and I'm not that desperate for 300 experience points. So we are going to go east this time to what are called the Woods of Sharp Teeth, which comprise of about 4 areas. Only 2 of them are known to me. I can't go there. I have to go through Peldvale first. And there are a couple of quite nice encounters in here that we'll film for this video. And rather than go the direct route to the bandit camp, I'm going to try and scrounge as much XP as possible. So from Peldvale, I'll go south to the Larswood, and then east to where we will find some red wizards and a couple of other interesting, or at least XP-rich encounters, I hope. And then we'll hit the bandit camp. And from the bandit camp, we will unlock the next chapter of the story, which will allow us to go west into the Cloakwood, which is going to be rather challenging, but that's for another video. So let's shut up and go to Peldvale and get waylaid. Because why not? Oh, I also forgot to mention, I sold that wand of missiles after identifying it and the ring +1, because I can always buy it back later, and it, you know, just used all of the money to get more bitey arrows and another stack of arrows +2, because we can't afford to mess around now. We just have to try and get through encounters as quickly as possible, because we're starting to get to the point in the game where the enemies aren't all as theoretically pitiful as wild dogs. So these are like 35, 65 XP a piece. Can we really be bothered? No. So we'll try not to get eaten and have our ankles bitten on the way. Well, let's just go to Peldvale. And quick save. Because this is where things are probably all going to go completely horribly wrong. Because, yeah, the enemies in here are quite, potentially quite challenging. I mean, the name of the forest, the Woods of Sharp Teeth, is probably a bad omen in terms of telling you about some of the things that we can encounter in here. I'm going to go north and kick off a scripted encounter, and we will meet someone who we will actually get rather better acquainted with in Baldur's Gate 2. The drow cleric Viconia, who's being chased by the Flaming Fist, and would like you to stop her from being murdered. Which is fair enough, and this will actually allow me to show you one of the really cool things about clerics.
You'll kill me.
Okay, so I want to make sure she survives to the next game, though even if she was killed here, you'd still be able to recruit her. Yeah, raise dead spells and all that. So a Flaming Fist Enforcer is going to come in and say, kill, yeah, we need to kill her because she's an evil dark elf. You don't take any reputation hit either way, really, whether you just say, yeah, take her, or whether you actually step in to defend her. So even though he is technically the local police force, saving Viconia doesn't have any effects on your reputation.
I serve the Flaming Fist.
Do you now? Yeah, she may be evil, but she's done nothing to me. So she's also quite attractive, and I want to have the romance with her in BG2. So you're just gonna have to go through me. Yeah. Too bad, mate. How do you know she's a murderer? Alright then. So he's hostile. Viconia is going to join in the fight, and she is going to hopefully demonstrate why clerics are actually not such a bad solo class if you can get their wisdom, strength, and dexterity up relatively high. Constitution also helps. Viconia has one of the weakest constitutions in the game, so she doesn't have that many hit points, but she can heal really, really well, and she also has, as a cleric, some really, really nice combat spells. So I'm going to let her hopefully command this Flaming Fist mercenary to have a little bit of a nap, which will allow me to fall back to a distance where Harrison won't do his on-brand critical miss stormtrooper act, And hopefully we can just get rid of him relatively quickly and painlessly. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? So, she cast command, and he is now unconscious for a couple of combat rounds. So, hopefully I'm at a sufficient distance where I can actually just pound him with these arrows, and he won't know what hit him, in theory. She's got another command, so if he wakes up again, which he will, she can knock him back out again, and we can continue to knock his very fancy helmet off. There we are. Yeah, it's very handy that she has that command because he is also a cleric. This is a very, very sexy horsehair helmet. Obviously, being a thief, I can't use helmets. But if you want one of these fancy helmets for one of your characters, this is the way to get it without taking a reputation hit. He's not worth that many experience. This plate armor she can actually wear, and she can wear the helmet as well. I'm not going to recruit Piconia because I have too high a reputation and not a high enough charisma to be able to keep her in the party. She will just moan around for an hour, and when if I do anything that would increase my reputation, she'll just walk off with all of the kit that you give her. So I'm playing solo anyway. One thing to bear in mind about this area is that if you don't have the +2 Warhammer that we got from the Mad Priest Basileus earlier, if you didn't save that, there is a +1 Warhammer that she can use, which we can get from another encounter in the area. So you don't have to waste any money buying it back, at least initially. So in BG1 she has very annoying combat shouts, which is another reason not to have her in the party. But yeah, if you're playing a kind of like neutral evil party, she's just as good, if not a little bit better than Branwen. So yeah, worth having around if you are going to go the party route. You do, because she's Drow, you will take a -2 hit to your reputation. But if you bought everything you need beforehand, that doesn't matter. But if that reputation does get too high, she will just wander off. No, I'm not a racist, but I just like my privacy. So I'll see you in BG2. So at least she's survived, and that's a quick save. So there are a few lakes in this area, I think, and things like Black Talon elites who shoot ice arrows. There are also hobgoblins and giant spiders of varying degrees of horribleness. I'm not going to take that. If I've got any encumbrance left at the end, I might pop back to the friendly army to sell it, but my inventory's quite full, and we only want stuff that is particularly valuable. So we'll try and uncover the entire map before the end of the video. And let's see what kind of random encounters we get, because there are only really a couple of scripted ones left. So, for such an ominous name, it's actually quite a pretty area. You know, little butterflies wandering around. You know, they don't fly in and bite your neck and poison you. A few interactable objects. Don't think they have anything special in them. And that is a rock face that I can't climb, so we will have a wander around this picturesque little pond after we climb the hill. And do one of my little patented spiral search patterns. So this is... maybe that's one of the wild dogs who wanted to bite my ankles earlier. I mean, +2 arrows on a wild dog is very extravagant. But I want to keep those health potions for when I really need them. And I think they come in packs of 4. So we can't really be mucking about. Okay. I'm going to try and do rather less running away this time. If we lose too much health, I want to be saving the health potions for kind of like combat scenarios rather than general healing. Especially now I've got 2 cure light wounds in my special abilities. If we get in real trouble, I do have the charm creature to fall back on, which I didn't even need to use in the encounter with the Flaming Fist Mercenary, because Viconia's command was so good. And those are level 1 spells. You know, when she gets like level 3, level 4, you get access to the level 2 cleric spells, and that's when things get really good, because you know you can cast Hold Person, which caused us so much trouble fighting Basilisk. And you can also cast silence spells, which mean that enemy spellcasters can't chuck a few magic missiles and flame arrows at your throat. Right. So those are... ah, here's one of the Black Talon elites. Maybe in a pair, maybe on his own. He has ice arrows, which, you know, are quite nasty, so counter striking him with +2 arrows is a good idea. I do have my favourite bitey arrows, but you really should be saving those for spellcasters and, you know, the toughest opponents. So when we get to Cloakwood Mines, for example, the guy who is running around with the boots of the cheetah that haste you, I'm going to want to be using these against him, because that will actually slow down his movement rate because he's taking damage from the poison. Well, that's the theory. In 5 or 6, 8 videos time, we'll see how that theory works in practice. So very on brand. A critical miss. Because he's an archer, he's quite weak in melee, and yeah, I don't want to be overusing the fireballs. There is one opportunity to use a fireball a little bit later, but no, let's just rush him. How do you like that close combat penalty to your missile attack rolls? And we've got roughly equivalent armour classes. But I have a much better sword. A critical hit! Makes a change. So this is probably, you know, the better strategy to take. So I can get some bandit scalps for Officer Vi. I may take a few normal arrows, but he has these arrows of ice and arrows +1, so it's a very good way of you know, farming some fairly decent arrows. So we'll see how many of these we get by the end of the area, and actually stuff the normal arrows. If we come up against anything seriously pathetic, we will use the +1s and the fire arrows, because I think there are gibberlings in here. Alright, so far so good. And that was the Jinx. Yeah, black bear. Don't aggro all the bears. So, as we near the edge of this map, you'll see that this area of woods here is you can't go off this edge, because we're actually at the edge of not the world itself, because there's like a huge continent out here, but this is the kind of like the edge that we can explore to in the story. So we will take a wander up, and we will kind of be like a dot matrix printer doing yeah. And there's the encounter with the bandit group up here. But I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. So we'll see if there are any giant spiders around here, and give us a good preview of the kind of things we have to look forward to in the Cloakwood. Another Black Talent Elite. Charge! So, because I have the lore skill to identify them, it would just help tidy things up. So, it's all going far too well, isn't it? Okay. A few more gold pieces. Let's see. Yeah, we'll come back and then stay out of the way, bear. I don't want to have to fill you with arrows, because there's a... He really is the most unlucky person in the world, because you can almost guarantee I'm going to have to go up here, because I don't want to be fighting a huge spider and a bear at the same time. These are the least potent of the giant spider family, but they do still have a poisonous bite. We haven't killed the 4 that are in Landrin's home in Baragost. This will be a good test, actually, to see if we can melee them without, you know, completely dying. Because we're trying to keep running away to a minimum. Oh, not bad. Definitely worth a quick save when the music calms down. There we are. Right, onward. There's another barrel I can have a look in. Scrape the bottom of. Oh, gold. Free gold is good gold. Okay, and there's the barrier at the side. So we'll have a look around the edge of the lake. See how close we're getting to the... Yeah, we've still got a little bit to go before we find that. Yeah, a little signpost. The woods of sharp teeth. Bad dog! Sit! Okay, if I don't kill him in a couple of rounds, we may have to do the old Sir Robin thing. Oh, what are you doing? Oh yeah, good, good, give me your target. 4 damage. Or is he trying to lead me out so I can be flanked? I don't know. Had to happen, didn't it? Oh, it's catching. Everyone's doing it. It's the fashion. It's like they're just having a dance, isn't it? Right. One down. Can you kill this one a bit quicker, please, before my tea goes cold? Obviously not. Oh. I'm quite pleased to get out of that encounter with my ankles and arse and throat unbitten. Right, okay. Let's carry on. Bloody little outs. Just leaving all this garbage around. It's what you get from bandits, you see. No respect for nature. Oh, more bears. Oh, have to remember to save every so often, just before I blunder into an ambush. Speaking of which, here are some hobgoblins. I think there's a few of them, but being able to get them one at a time is always nice. It's so good to have these in the enhanced edition. Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, this is like the old days where you had to have like 3/4 of your inventory just clogged up with arrows. So sneak forward a little bit so I don't aggro too many. My goodness, it's almost like he's decided to be competent. I mean, it's only taken nearly 100,000 experience points. I mean, if we can't kill hobgoblins, we're in big trouble, aren't we? Right. Yeah. Okay, just checking for any little hidey holes. I don't think there are any in here. Elminster's obviously not left us any goodies. He probably knows that we've got all of the world's health potions and all of the +2 arrows. So our next encounter is possibly going to be the scripted thing with the bandits. So the best way to approach this is actually from the extreme east and just nudge your way in west when you get... So I think they're at the top of this bluff. Keep quick saving. Because there's a lot of them. And you actually get a choice here of whether you can try and say, hey, so there's the lead bandit. Well, he's on point, or tail end Charlie, depending on which your perspective. And so this huge area here, there are about 5 more of him and the leader. So you can either spring an ambush because you're after bandit scouts. I mean, these are not nice people. You shouldn't feel bad for throwing a fireball at them. Or, because they're not hostile initially, you can actually convince him that you want to actually join the Black Talon. And he will take you to the bandit camp. Which, if you wanted to bypass a lot of experience points, save your health, that's probably the way to do it. But we're here for carnage, aren't we? We're here for the experience. So I'm just going to ambush, and hopefully the first fireball... Okay, I have quick saved. So I'm going to see how close I can get. Can I? I'm only a... Those guys aren't going to have time to chuck missiles at me anyway. So let's try that again with my hide enhanced. No. Let's maybe get out of the way. Try and go under the trees. That's supposed to be a 70% chance of hiding. It's 33. So let's see how close we can get before... Oh, we need to be quick because because they do... He does like to fail his skill rolls. Before the words were even out of my mouth. Right. So even though I can't see anyone else, I know they're there because I've done this, dozens of times in the past. So having revealed a bit of this shadow, it allows me to get my fireball a little bit closer to the group. So when this goes in and explodes on the ground, with a bit of luck, it will kill all of the bandits. I did say with a bit of luck, and we don't have any. So since we can't hide, we'll get our alleged bonus against missile attacks. Quick save again because they're not rationed. Let's invest the fireball. Okay, we got 3 of them. There are more. There's at least another 2, I think. But that's not a bad start. And he's a spellcaster, I think, so I'll switch to the bitey arrows. Right. Bit of a waste on a bandit. And he made his save. fucker. Come on, I'm gonna scalp you. Critical miss. Critical miss Harrison. Does it again. Oh, who's shooting at me? Yeah, so there are quite a lot of bandits, but they're quite low level. You'll not take me alive! And I won't be an orphan because you're going to die. Or at least the fireball did him some damage. And he made his save, of course he did. Right, I am going to run away because 3v1. I'm not even going to bother with these guys because allegedly they shouldn't be able to hit me with an armor class versus missiles of should be -5. He saved again, the bugger. This game is such a cheat. Right. 3 in a row, you little bugger. Right, I am not going to run into the bear and aggro him. I'm just going to keep Sir Robining. You'll have to imagine the Benny Hill music. 4th time lucky. Right, that will stop him casting. And he ought to be near enough to death. Well, okay, we took some damage eventually. So that's that +1 Warhammer. Back to the arrows +2. And now I can just have an arrow exchange. Critical miss again. Stop being useless. I mean, they almost ran out of arrows. That could have been interesting. Alright, so that's the biggest encounter and most dangerous encounter in this area. So, how have we done? +1 Warhammer, 6 arrows of ice. Yeah, 8 bandit scalps. And I can sell those to Officer Vi for 50 gold apiece. That ought to be everybody. I'll grab another couple of... see if there are more scalps to be had. Nope. We may hit some more Black Talon elites on the way out. So, there's one other scripted encounter in here with this guy. He's non-hostile. He's just a hunter, fisherman type bloke, and he doesn't have anything useful to say. Any good gear. Not enough experience points to be worth murdering. So, we're just going to ignore him. What have we seen? That black... oh, it's just a normal bandit. So he will have friends. So you did what? Oh. Idiot says what? Oh, no friends. Just like me. Quick save. Don't forget to quick save. He's elite, so he gets charged. Because one of them's bound to hit me eventually. So these Black Talon elite are in the Larswood as well. Along with a few other things. A few more free arrows, another scalp. Okay. Inventory's full. Ah, yeah, I need to ID those. Free up my inventory. We'll take that. And we'll clear it that way. So rather than go north immediately to Larswood, because that didn't take quite as long as I thought it would, I might as well clear the map in the Friendly Arm and get Joya's Ring. But we'll kill this Black Talon first because he's got arrows I want. Critical miss. You're standing right in front of him. I mean, it's only like level 4 or something. Can you not do that? I mean, if we didn't have that +2 sword, we'd be here all day. I'm slightly beginning to regret selling that belt of slashing protection. Well, we got there eventually, didn't we? And inventory's full again. So, oh, I'm actually needing 2 stacks. Right, so ice arrows. So, if we still got 1 inventory slot free, so we'll just finish clearing the map, and if that is still free, we'll grab that plate armour on the way back home to the Friendly Arm Inn, rest up and regain these hit points rather than use any of our precious healing potions. So, alright, yeah, well, the helmet's not really worth anything, so as nice as it looks on you know, player characters, since I can't wear it, I'll just take that, and we will head back to the Friendly Arm. That's an area which is quite experience point rich, actually. But we'll do the bandit camp first, and we'll use that as a, you know, a relaxing interlude. Right. So there's nothing of interest down there really. So the hobgoblins are here, and since we got some ice arrows, well, you know what they look like anyway, because the Black Talons were firing them. But since I got them for free, and I could sell them, I guess, but I'd rather use those than the arrows +2. Yeah, I don't... Do they give us... No, they don't give us a bonus to hit.
Not a problem.
I mean, is a Thakau of 12 enough to handle hobgoblins? Let's find out. Right, because my inventory's full, I'll come back for things like rings and stuff. So rather, well, please don't critical miss him. I mean, 6 arrows to get rid of just 2 hobgoblins is relatively poor, isn't it? Oh, these guys are slightly separate from the group with Joyous Ring, so if I actually stand on him, I can put that directly into the gem bag. So, didn't save much time by dropping stuff, going back in. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, let's not waste time revealing stuff that doesn't have any enemies in it. We're here for the carnage. Where are they? They're usually around here. Ah, here we are. That's more like it. Come on. That bloody auto attack. Keep forgetting I've got it turned off. Now the hobgoblin who has Joyous Ring. Oh, hello. I'll take that. Oh. Someone's there. Ah, there he is. He's a little bit further west than I thought he would normally be. But yeah, you can tell he's got the ring because he has a slightly different colour armour. Right, let's just chuck these things straight into the bag. So, there it is. And that's the ring. So, even though I can't improve my reputation anymore, I guess it's 300 XP closer, I guess. Right. And amazingly, we didn't run out of ice arrows, so I'll just sell them. I don't really need them. I'll free up the stack. There's better stuff that I can pick up later. And that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Now that we've expelled the fog of undiscovered country. Right, so we're just going to barge into this woman's house. And you can't even close the door afterwards. How rude.
It will be done.
Yes?
I will be gracious and have manners. Oh, I need a gruff hand. Well, what you do in your own time, love, is your business. And there it is. Oh, you're a good sort. Am I? Really? Oh, it's 400 XP. Oh. So, while you're saying good things about me, I'm just gonna rob you. And I can't pick that up. Oh, it's not worth enough to be bothered with. So I'll just take the gold. And yeah, you see, you can't actually close the door behind you. So that's going to wreck her heating bell. Right. So we will just say hello to Imogen at the bar, or wave hello to her. And now that the iron crisis is resolved, yeah, Jahira and Khalid have gone forward to meet us in Baldur's Gate 2.
My inn is open to all who behave themselves.
Oh, we're some way away from there. I want to sell that. Nice chunk of money. And that. So he doesn't want the arrows and the bandit scalps. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe off screen, because you don't need me to, you don't see me go back to Baragos and dump those bandit scalps. But I probably want to free up those 2 inventory slots, get rid of these, and I'll probably sell the arrows +1 as well, because I think I have enough arrows to be going on with for the moment. But so you don't need to see me just go away and sell those. So we'll call the video there, and I will rest.
It's been dreadful slow
Well,
business lately.
yeah, well, just have a moderate rest, rather than just save a few pennies. So yeah, back to full health. A few more experience points closer to this elusive level 9. So when you see me next, I'll be slightly lighter in the inventory and rather heavier in the pocket, hopefully, unless I decide to buy an extra 3 or 30 arrows to help top up the stack again. Don't think I'll bother. I'll save the cash, because at some point I'm going to need to recharge the necklace of missiles again. So Harrison was almost competent in that video. And on that bombshell, I think we'll finish for this particular episode, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what Peldvale had in store for us. And when I see you next, we will go bandit hunting in the Larswood. Thanks for watching.